Hi, I'm Hannah and welcome to my channel Money, Mindset and Minimalish. To give you a bit of background about me, I am 37, nearly 38. I live in Leeds and I'm married and I'm a mum of one. I'm a career changer, so I worked in the legal and financial sector for roughly around 15 years and that was where the bulk of my career was spent. I've also had my own business and I had a podcast for a while that I created and produced by myself, and now I currently work in project delivery. In terms of my motivation for starting this channel, it's really that I love trying to improve myself and be better and do better, and I also like sharing the things that I've learned and things that have worked for me with other people. So really the purpose behind this channel was just to be able to share some of the lessons that I've learned, talk about some of the challenges that I've experienced over the years and how I've overcome those challenges, in the hope that it can help and inspire some other people too. So money, mindset and minimalish are the three areas that I'm really focused on trying to improve in. Now I'm somebody that's used a budget tracker for a lot of years just to make sure that I'm keeping on track of my bills and making sure I've got the right amount of money in the right accounts for when bills need to come out. And in all honesty, while budgeting in itself can be pretty straightforward, actually sticking to a budget can be really hard. I've definitely had times where I felt really frustrated around the whole budgeting situation because I work hard, and as I already said, I've worked for a really long time, and you do sometimes want to feel like, okay, well, I want to treat myself, I want to be able to have nice things and the things that I want because I go out and work for this money. But in the long run, I want my money to actually be able to be used for my benefit. And do I want to have lots of stuff that's that's not really that important to me and that valuable, or would I rather have better quality stuff that that's going to last and that actually matters to me more? There've been lots of times where I've splurged on things because I've just needed that instant gratification of buying something that I've not actually really needed. And I've been working really hard to try and teach myself delayed gratification and to just really stick to my budget and to sort of reward myself for doing that. So I'll share some of the techniques and tips that I've been using to try and help me stay on track. Now, despite working in the legal and financial sector for like 15 years, full disclosure, I wasn't always great with my money. Now I just really want to stay focused on trying to create financial freedom for myself and my family, embedding those healthier habits and mindsets, and trying to focus on having less but better and being really intentional with my spending. So without further ado, let's delve into my budget for July. So to start off with, my husband and I, we've always had separate bank accounts, and he's always had his own business, and so it just made sense for us to have separate bank accounts. And then we just kind of always continued down that route. So there are certain things that I pay, like I pay all the bills and then he pays the housing costs. So in terms of income on here, we've got my wage, which after tax is 1986. Then we've got child benefit for one child, so that's £102.40. And then I tend to travel a bit for work, so I've sometimes got expenses that I get reimbursed. So for this month, I've got £50.70 that I need to add in that's been reimbursed to me. Okay, so that's the income section all done. Moving over to the bills section. So the bills, as I said, I cover all the bills out of the two of us, and hubby pays the housing costs. So in terms of the bills, nothing really changes in this area. So the figures that I've got on there, everything, I just have a quick scan through, but everything should pretty much stay the same month to month. So I'll move across to my expenses section. So in terms of food, the budget for this varies each month depending on how many weeks in the month we've got and just on how much money we've got and other expenses we've got. So I might treat us to more or less things depending on how things are looking. So at the moment I've got it in there for £400, which I'm going to leave that figure as that. In terms of petrol, for this month I'm going to knock that down. Normally I spend about £60 a month on petrol. I don't drive for work. I commute for work on the train, so I'm not really using my car for work. So it's more just weekends and evenings really. But I made the epic fail of filling up my car last month and looking at the wrong section. So I was looking at the litres instead of the amount, so I thought I was putting £40 in and I ended up putting 40 litres in. So So yeah, so I filled up my car more than I needed to last month. I've probably still got like a third of a tank left, so I'm going to knock my fuel down to about £40 for this month, because I think that's more realistically what I'll spend. In terms of my work lunches, I'm looking at how many days I'm going to be in the office this month, and if I've got any work trips, but if things are catered, then I think I could probably get away with spending about £25 this month on work lunches. So just, you know, grabbing a salad or a sandwich or something in town, which I know is really bad, and I'm trying not to do that. I try and be organised and make my lunch ahead of time, but I'm a work in progress, so I've still not got that one nailed down yet. Again, with parking, I'm going to knock this down. So I normally allow about £17 a month. I haven't really got anywhere that I need to travel where I'm going to need to park that much this month, so I'm going to knock it down to like £10, because I do need to go to town this weekend to go buy a present for somebody, but I might even take the train anyway, so but I'm just going to knock it down to £10 for now. The great thing about a budget is that you can flex it throughout the month. It doesn't have to stay as, you know, as what you've allocated at the start of the month. You can just, you know, work around your, in terms of your more flexible expenses. So then my daughter Abby's pocket money for how many weeks that we've got this month, it'll be a 5-week month, so she gets £5 a week, so I'll put that's £25. In terms of topping up her lunch card, she's still got quite a lot on there anyway, and she's nearly at the end of term, so I think probably me and my husband split her school expenses, by the way, so I pay her pocket money, but we split things like her bus top-ups and her lunch card, so I think probably £5 each from each of us should do her with what balance she's got on her school account at the moment. So I'm just going to knock that down there. And same for her bus pass. I think we've paid it till like the 16th of July, so we only need to buy one more week, which is £10, so £5 each. And then she goes to like some after school clubs sometimes, so she has to get a different bus back, so she's only going to be going twice for the remainder of this term, so £3, so £1.50 each. And then in terms of youth club fees, she's probably got about 4 more weeks to go before they break up for the summer, so I'm going to allocate £20 for that, because that's like, well, it's £3 a session, then I give her a couple of pounds for spending money on sweets, which she always makes sure to spend all of. I'm going to be taking Abby for a day out as well, so I've allocated some money for that. In terms of takeaways and meals out, we don't tend to go out for meals that often, but we do like to have like an occasional takeaway at the weekend or something like that. So I normally allocate around £100 a month on that. In terms of treat money, I normally give myself £50 a month as like a payday treat, but actually I've got a birthday coming up this month, so I know I'll probably get gifts and vouchers and money anyway, so I'm just going to knock it down to like £10 in case I need to like buy any makeup stuff or anything like that, just if there's anything that runs out that I need to top up, so at least I've allowed something. In terms of my travel for work, my train tickets are like £5 a day. I've got a bit of work travel but to other places, so that gets covered on expenses anyway, so in terms of travel for work that I've got to pay for, I'm going to allocate £35 for the days that I've just got to go into my normal office. And then I'm going to put £7.50 down for personal train travel for when me and Abby have our day out, and we'll just get the train, so that's like an adult ticket and a child ticket down to town. My husband Tony and I are going for like a lunch date in town, so we'll just do something cheap and cheerful, like get a couple of drinks and go for like half price pizza, you know, to a little bar that we go to, so we'll both chip in for that, so I'm going to put £12.50 each for that, so we'll probably spend about 25 quid. In terms of homeware, I do normally allocate £40 a month. However, I had a little bit left over from last month's budget, and there's not actually anything that I need to do right now, so I'm going to knock that down to nothing for this month, because I don't really need to buy any homeware stuff right now. We've got our wedding anniversary coming up at the end of the month, so we'll probably do something for that, whether we go get a hotel or, you know, go out for a meal or get a takeaway, something like that. So I'm going to leave that £30 in there for that. And then I've got a colleague that's leaving to have a baby, so I'm just going to grab some cake for the last day that I'll be seeing her, so I'll just put something in the budget for that. Okay, so that's working out that I've got like 28.83 left over, and I normally like to do a zero-based budget just to make sure that every pound is allocated for. So all I'll do is add that 28.83 onto my food budget, and like I said, I'll flex these figures throughout the month. So if I need to borrow a little bit, I don't know, if we wanted to have a meal out and a couple of takeaways, then I might borrow a little bit out of the food budget, or vice versa. If my petrol was a bit more expensive, or if I didn't spend on parking, then, you know, I just kind of, you know, borrow from different areas, but at least in terms of my main bills, things like that are covered. And I've got another column there for any debts that I've got, so the payments for those don't really change unless I decide to overpay a little bit. So that's it, that's my budget balance down to zero for this month. I hope you found that useful, seeing how I break down my expenses. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did, please hit the like button and make sure you subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Until then, thanks for watching, and bye for now.